like would have never been approved if it was in a TV format. And some of it's been the most impactful work that brand's ever felt, because when you get 20 million organic views, people saw it. People saw it. You also get the consumer insights from all the comments. There's a lot to this. This industry likes to look at social down here. It is way up here.
Perfect. So a two-part question. Why is organic social important? And is it under threat from reduced fact-checking on social media?
First part, social organic is so important because it can mitigate the risk that has always been in place for the last 70 years of marketing, which is the creative variable. Period. I'd like to think, I'm now looking at camera, I'd like to think you understand what I said. I'll say it one more time in a different way. It allows us to see what consumers actually like, and then we can make informed decisions to level that up into campaign work or amplify it itself through media, and that drives more business results than every other thing we do in advertising. Is it at risk for lack of fact checking? I would tell you that most of the stuff that is going on in mainstream media is become so politicized that the level of trust on the end consumer of what they're seeing on the left or right news, or on all the websites where what are you gonna buy like what happens with the money? You're gonna buy banner ads on websites? Like what are you gonna buy commercials on BBC or NBC or CBS or Fox News? Like it's even funny when you just ask that question. It's funny how hot the topic of like fake news and social was. It's almost like everything's fucking fake, which is devastating, right? And by the way, I actually have an optimistic view on this. I actually think humans now have to critically think, which I actually think like, you know how it is, one step backwards, two steps forward. I've always thought in 10, 15 years, there's a good to a lot of what has happened. I don't see any indication that it's at risk, but I will say something that I'd like you to know. I am not overtly passionate about social media. I'm just obsessed with where people's attention is today. If tomorrow Zucks comes out with the glasses and we all leave the phone, right? That would change distribution. I'm not crying, I'm actually pumped because I know it's gonna take people time to figure out what works. That's a strength of mine. I've been good at, historically, I'd like to think I'm not washed up yet, of moving fast and understanding the context of the distribution, the creative, the media. But if I was doing this interview with you in 2000, I would be talking about search the way I talk about social or email marketing. I have no romance to where the consumer decides to give its attention. I just have no romance to what they used to give their attention to. And I think that's a big scarlet letter of our industry.
Yeah, you're just a realist that's adapted to the times.
Because I got taught marketing through the fear of not having it work for my family business, I didn't come up academia, I didn't come up agency or brand marketing training. I came up of this has to work. And I got very lucky, I didn't realize this until maybe even 5 years ago. I also knew there was gonna be a day I was gonna leave my dad's business because it was his business. And I was doing everything for him. And I was getting paid very little, which I have feelings about Dad. And but I love my parents so much, and I wanted to leave it in good shape. So I was doing something that it was so much smarter than I realized. It's what everybody wants from me here in Adland. I was driving sales while building brand.